Self-help becomes procrastination real quickly, and this is the common problem. People consume but don't take action. This is faced by like everyone, but this self-help niche is going through a crisis, a certain problem which no one else is talking about, and it is parasites. Winter's here and I'll get to look cool again. Oh, by the way, this is not a sponsorship deal or anything else. I'm just wearing this because I just found it and I don't know, it looks cool on me, I guess. Here's what happens. People get genuine advice, life-changing advice, by the way, from self-help creators, self-help gurus, as they call it. And these people genuinely go through a canon event. Their life changes and they absolutely are forever grateful to this content creator for giving them the insights, giving them the mindset which led to this positive change. And so as a proxy of this positive change, they end up trusting the content creator. They end up trusting the self-help guru. There's nothing wrong in that. But using this trust, the self-help content creator now sells this consumer a product. Now what is this product? It could be a course, it could be a book, it could be life coaching, it could be anything else. But it is a product, mainly courses. And this dude buys it. Well, guess what? The product, the amazing course, turns out to be just a compilation of his YouTube videos. Just a little bit more zoomed in maybe on the topic. Maybe he's giving in a little bit more detail on the topic. But it is essentially just the YouTube videos repeated. It's a scam. You have fallen for a scam. And this is a classic thing about courses. But the more vicious part of this is some of these content creators set up literal MLM schemes, multi-level marketing, where you as a part of the consumer base get paid to get more people into the system. And a new person who is getting into the system has to pay, so on and so forth. If you want to know more about MLM schemes, the Ponzi scheme, just go and search on YouTube. There's millions, maybe, videos about it which explain it real nicely. Point is, all these scams fill up this space, while some of the courses which are there on this niche are genuinely good. And the thing is, I've never purchased a course before personally, and so I need to be very careful shitting on courses. But there seems to be an undeniably large contingent of people who look at a course made by a self-help content creator and can't help but think of it as a scam. Now, why does this happen? Because there are people, exploitative, dirty people, who make scams and MLM schemes in this self-help niche specifically, because it's slightly easier for them to convert viewers into customers in this niche. And to get into this niche, start making self-help videos purely to sell them a scam later and then disappear. And this way, since the bad courses, the bad products fill the space, the good gets lost among the noise. The genuinely good content creator who makes absolutely valuable courses and products, they get lost. They get shit around by random people on the internet because, well, you are a self-help content creator and you have made a course, so that must be a scam. And I can't even blame the customers for this because there's so many people who have gotten scams. I've read so many little news snippets and here and there, just heard about customer testimonials saying the course turns out to be a scam. It's just a compilation of the YouTube videos, or it's just unrelated topics, or it's just useless information which they didn't need or they knew already, or the information is incomplete and you have to pay an extra amount to unlock the extra bit of knowledge. Some people would know which courses I'm talking about. I just don't want to mention any names or articles. And there are some people who set up full MLM schemes, which is illegal in a lot of countries. And it is a highly unethical practice. These MLM schemes, they are highly unethical because they end up grabbing money from its own salesmen. You join an MLM scheme, you go broke if you're in the lower rung. And this kind of a situation, it acts as a trap for good content creators. The good content creators who make genuinely good courses, they can't sell the course because no one's gonna buy it because everyone just assumes that it's a scam. And the consumers as well, since their minds are so wary and they think like 5-6 times and then they end up not purchasing a course because, well, guess what? They have heard so many stories about courses turning out to be scams that they don't purchase even the good courses. A lot of people get into these niches, like this self-improvement related niches. They just get into the niches so that they can sell a scammy product, earn some money, they leave. They just get into this niche to earn money and leave. They don't care about you. They will give you some knowledge maybe, okay fine. They will give you some insights maybe, okay fine. But it's just something that they read off of a book and then they are just telling it to you. Of course, if the book is good, then the knowledge is going to be good and then your life is going to be changed. And you as a consumer, you're looking at the life change and telling that, okay, well, I trust this content creator fully now because he has changed my life, and so I would assume that he knows his stuff. When the reality is, he has just converted you, a viewer, into a consumer whom he can now scam. And the people who are wary of purchasing a course, can you really blame them? Because actually so many people have been scammed by these vicious, ugly, dirty people, exploitative people. Can you really blame the consumer for thinking in this way that all the courses are scams? You can't really blame the consumers when you think about it. This self-help niche is filled with parasites. Parasites who deceive people, parasites who scam people, parasites who make bad, shitty products just to scam people, just to grab money and leave. Fake stories, deception, you know the drill. And again, there's also this side of the story where the customer wants variety. Chances are that you would want a subject which is novel to you, which is new to you. When you open YouTube, you want new videos on new topics. And it's normal to want this. But these self-help creators just make new content, just cook up new things, just package the old things in a new way to make new content. Because guess what? Self-help is a weird niche because it's based on a bunch of principles which don't really change that much. But if we just talk about the principles, the video will not be very unique. The video will not be very catchy. So for example, I can tell you, if you maintain your hygiene, take a shower every day, trim your nails, get your hair, cut professionally, keep yourself clean. If you maintain your hygiene and if you maintain your grooming, that is like 90% of looks maxing done for you, straight up. And the other 9% will be done by fitness. And all these separate supplements and operations that you see people on the looks maxing niche do, it's just a way to give you that 1% which is left as a product. It's just repackaged old jargon, old stupid stuff. If you want to really looks max, it's just like the three things. You just need to maintain your hygiene, need to maintain your grooming, and you need to stay fit. 99% of looks maxing done. But can this be converted into a course? Can this be converted into a very attractive product which is very catchy, a clickbait YouTube thumbnail? Can you do it? The answer is no. You can't take basic principles and turn it into a very catchy product. And so these people focus on the 1% which can be turned into a product, which can be turned into a very catchy YouTube videos which is going to get a lot of clicks. The truth is, with 99% of self-help in general is just old concepts. It's just something that we already know. Self-help, helping niche, this niche meant to help people, is just filled with money grabbers, just filled with deceptive people who just want to package something which is not very important. It is important but not very important. They want to package it up in a new way and turn it into a product and want to sell it to you. And they skip the principles. They don't teach the old principles. They don't teach the general things which we already know, but they still hold true. And it is such a big fact that people need to be reminded more than they need to be taught. This is why the good creators, the big and good creators at the same time, Alex or Mozi, people like these, their content feels so repetitive. If you look at their videos, the topic could be different, thumbnails different, titles different, but the core idea remains the same. And that is why it feels really repetitive. And why won't it feel repetitive? If the principle, which is the central theme in the video, if that holds true. Because guess what? The genuine self-help content which is good will contain a bunch of boring things. Because self-help is boring. It's not very catchy that take this supplement which I'm selling you and then your life will change. I did this operation and my life changed, so maybe you should go through too. Oh, by the way, click the link in my description to go through the affiliate link for the hospital. The hospital pays before traffic. And people just focus on this 1% because it's catchy. Whereas the good creators make content on the 99%, the principles which will get you genuine improvement in your life. And that is why their content feels so repetitive. I hope you know that there are people who are more into self improvement, who are more into the habits that you're trying to get into, and they don't even watch a single self help video. They don't know that this niche exists, yet their lives are so much better than us. And so, self help is not about the content. Self help is not about the flashy products, the amazing thumbnail, the clickbaity title. It's not about that. It's about the little things and the base principles which hold true for over such a long time. And this can be used personally. I actually use this principle to sift between the good content and the noise. And so here's what I would personally do. First, I look for specific knowledge. So if there's some skill that I want to learn, to improve, I will go on YouTube, search about that skill and watch tutorials. I'll search for specific information and not general information. I'll not search for videos which are going to teach me that, okay, 5 skills you need to be a good content creator. No, I'll watch separate videos on videography, on lighting, on audio engineering. I'll watch separate videos on those rather than search for general videos like 5 products that you need to be a good content creator. By the way, link in my description. Second, for consuming content other than specifically the skill-based content, I usually follow up 1 or 2 podcasts, mainly modern wisdom most of the times. And that is the only source of novel content which I get. Yes, these days I'm slipping up a little bit, watching a bunch of shorts, but it's not too much. Earlier I used to watch straight up like 1 hour, 1.5, 2 hours, and I know that the 2 hours watching shorts is like less when you compare it to my friends, but that was still too much. These days I like watch like 1 minute, 2 minutes worth of shorts, and then I will realize, okay, this is not good. I shouldn't do this. And then I'll get back to listening to the podcast that I was listening to. So mainly podcasts. Educational ones, not the weird fresh and fit podcasts. Third, if there are any interesting guests who really make me think, who inspire me in some way in the podcast, I'll go on YouTube or any other platform, search for the socials and go look at more of their content. So this is how I separate noise and the good things. As far as paid products concerned, I've never really purchased any paid product before. But one thing that I would say is what I think personally, when you're purchasing a course or a coaching program or a book or anything, not for books actually, it's just coaching programs and courses mainly. When you're purchasing that, make sure that the course or the coaching program is about a specific skill. So if you want to improve your storytelling, buy a storytelling course. If you want to improve the way you speak on camera, buy a course which teaches you to do exactly that. This way, the chances of scams are lower because if they don't deliver on the promise that they are making, which is a simple thing, which is skill specific, then they have no place to be. Like your complaints will be listened and they will have very little to counteract. Never buy general courses. So like there's a lot of people who are making these courses like general self-improvement courses. And yeah, I've always thought about that. Like, you teach so much on YouTube about general self-improvement. People's lives have changed through general self-improvement, which you talk about in your YouTube videos. Why do people then need your course? But people will trust the content creator and then they will buy the product. This will just keep happening. They will just do it. Yeah, and so the 3 things that I discussed previously about consuming the free content, follow those. So like, look at skill specific content. That's the first point. The second point was follow a very small amount of content creators. And third, go to the content creators which inspired you through the second step and then just watch their content. And when it comes to paid courses, don't buy general self-improvement courses because they have a higher chance of being scammy and you'll not be able to even complain against them because they can be like, okay, well, that's general self-improvement. And then you're going to say, okay, well, like the product itself is not unique. Like I can get that for free. And then they're going to say, well, that's the same for anything else. so on and so forth. Like, you can't win that argument. But when it comes to like specific skills, and at the end of the course you're like, okay, I didn't learn anything, nothing was clear, please give me my money back, like absolutely nothing was clear, then you have a higher chance of actually your complaint being actually kind of like concrete. Then what do you do about general self improvement? Free content is available out there on YouTube for general self improvement, but a lot of that is actually uh, genuine noise. You will get general self improvement advice from the podcasts that you listen to, the very few amount of creators that you listen to. But books, I've found out they are an amazing source of self help material and genuine source of self help material. Like, it's very less scammy when it comes to books. They will give you general advice through books. Because making a video is, whatever you say, like making a video is definitely a lot lower effort than writing a book. And a scammer would not want to put that much effort into making his scams, because then he would just make a good product. And so, yeah, just look at books, read books about self improvement for general self help advice. And the thing is, if I want to revert back to the beginning of the video, the general self help problem which everyone faces, that still exists. Self help quickly turns into procrastination. You just watch more content and watch another piece of video, another read, you read another book, you read another article, you watch another podcast, you listen to another speech, and it just keeps going on and on and on. You just keep consuming and not take action. If you want to revert back to that problem, because that problem is a genuine problem as well, you are just stuck in this stage of consumption and you're not moving on, simply because of the fact that you are afraid to take action. And so action is what you mostly need. Action and hard work, this has been the theme of most of my YouTube videos. Actually, all of them have ended in this tone, that action and hard work is the answer. And it holds true for this video as well. If you want to make real growth in your self improvement journey, in whatever journey you are part of, action defeats anything else. Action and hard work, these two things, just combine them together and apply them to anything, and you can be successful. You can be any person that you want to be. To end this video on a slightly positive note, I would like to say that, look, there might be a lot of money grabbers and scammers out there on the internet, okay? But as consumers, we need to think in a slightly different way. We need to look at these scammers as simply parasites who need to be removed from this niche. And actually, we need to start respecting the good courses, the genuinely good content creators who are making good, valuable products. We need to learn how to respect them and not just randomly shit on them because they have made a product. We will not judge how good or bad the product is before shitting on them, which is not right. We need to look at the product and then go, okay, that could be valuable, and then encourage them to make more products. This is the way you inspire new creators to make actually good products which will actually help you. If you keep shitting on all the self help products that you see, no new creator who has a genuine intention in their heart to make a genuinely good product for their viewers, for their audience, no new creator will be inspired enough, no new creator will be incentivized to make a new product, because they know that when they make the new product, they're going to be shitted on. So don't randomly shit on people. Don't randomly like start hating content creators because they have made a new product. Evaluate and gauge if the product is actually useful. Evaluate and gauge if the content creator is legit. Take some time before giving your judgment on the next content creator's product that you want to shit on. Because we still do need to support the good content creators. Period.